The game industry is in a very bad place right now. And it's unfortunate to have to open up what is supposed to be a very positive video on such a negative note, but I mean, it's important. It's a very important part of the discussion. The game industry is sick. It's very sick. Obviously, there are bigger companies that are doing all right, that are releasing good games, who are treating their employees well, but we're seeing this trend. We're seeing these results of this very, very sick and greedy, just rotten to the core corporate company culture. As we've talked about in one or two videos on my main channel a while back, the whole industry kind of mirrors the greater tech industry where it operates on boom and bust cycles. You ride the next big hype wave. You get everyone hyped up. You hire a bunch of people. You greenlight a bunch of games, and you get investors pouring money into the company. And then when that hype starts to diminish a little bit, you start firing people. You close down studios. You axe as much as you can in order to save money in the immediate. It's this cycle of reckless, irresponsible growth and spending, followed by killing that growth. And this entire cycle, it's very, it's sick, it's evil, it's very dehumanizing. And this cycle has been occurring for a long time, but it feels like we are seeing unprecedented levels of that dehumanizing greed, that corporate short-sightedness and mismanagement and complete disregard for the well-being of the workers. It feels worse than ever. The layoffs and the studio closures will not stop. And just a few days ago, we saw Xbox closing down a bunch of studios in a move that completely, at least in my eyes, completely destroyed the last shred of faith that a lot of people had in the company. It was a move that proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that Xbox is just another one of those giant evil corporations who care absolutely nothing about people or the art of video games or anything. All they care about is the quarterly earnings report. Maybe it was silly to believe in them in the first place, but whatever. Their cards are all on the table. The industry is sick, and the situation feels very dire. The future is not looking particularly bright. And yet, to go a little Kingdom Hearts on you, amidst, much more proper, all of this darkness, there is a beacon of light. And that light is indie games. It is the indie space. In an industry where more and more we are seeing that creativity is worthless, experimentation is too risky, nothing matters more than money, not just some money, but all of the money, infinite, unlimited amounts of money, and human beings are treated as nothing more than expendable worker ants. In this environment, if you want creativity, if you want humanity, if you want art, you gotta look to indies. Somehow, in this crazy mixed up backwards world we live in, it's not the companies with unlimited money to spare, the ability to take on any amount of risk and barely even feel it when things go wrong. These companies who can spend hundreds of millions of dollars on games, which I will point out often do go on to fail because they are not creative, because they are not created with humanity, but that's the whole thing. Somehow in this world, when you have these companies willing to spend so much money on these giant projects, the real experimentation is coming from the smaller teams. Sometimes just one or two people working on the smaller projects. And great indie games are coming out all the time. That's the great thing about them. You could ignore the AAA industry forever and still have basically an unlimited number of games to play, more than you could ever play. The great games keep coming, and they don't stop coming. In fact, I think the more sick the greater AAA game industry gets, the more people you see in the indie space. These are people who are reacting directly to these horrible work environments, these unsustainable cycles. In response to that, more and more people are making these smaller, more creative projects, and it's incredible. Like I said, it's a beacon of light in this bleak landscape. And so we're always getting indie games. But May 9th, 2024, today, at the time of this recording, feels like a particularly special day. for indie games. The industry feels sicker than ever. All of this Xbox stuff, it goes so far beyond disappointing. It really does feel like we're at a boiling point here. And coming from that just a couple days ago to here, on this day, so many really incredible games, just I guess by coincidence, have all released at once. For whatever reason, May 9th, 2024 just kind of became the day that so many incredible games, they all just decided to burst into existence simultaneously. And all of this happening at once. It's again, it really does feel like just a beacon of light. It feels like this is how we fight against that horrible corporate machine. And we're gonna go over a big list of these games in just a minute to kind of just illustrate how incredible this day is. But first, I really do believe that indie games deserve a day. And I looked it up and I couldn't find anything. Forgive me if there is some sort of like one day of the year where we celebrate indie games. I don't think there is one. And if there is not one, it should be May 9th. It's perfect. This day, it feels so good. It just, I don't know, it really feels like a great day. Indie games, and even just indie art in general, has always been about human expression, has always been about kind of, sticking it to the man and all that stuff. But today, with the release of all of these games, it feels important. So I hope this catches on. I know other people are saying this. It's not just me, and I don't even if it happened, I don't even want credit for it. I don't want to be that guy. Just I want this to be a thing. Can we make May 9th just like the official indie day? Wouldn't it be cool to just have one day of the year that's just, we're always celebrating indies, but ooh, what if there was one day that was indie day? That would be so much fun. I don't even know what we would do, but I don't know, whatever. I think that should be a thing, because this really does feel like a day that's gonna go down in history. When was the last time we had so many incredible indie games releasing all at once and during a time when it matters this much? It matters more than ever. As far as the gaming landscape goes, indie games really are our hope for the future of just the artistic merit of this entertainment medium. So Twitter user Ryan T. Brown has assembled this list of some of the incredible indie games that released today. Again, I suppose by coincidence. And let's go over them. We're gonna start with Animal Well, which I just released a review of, and is honestly it sounds like such hyperbole. It sounds like such hype, but I really is one of the best games I've ever played. It's incredible. I just can't believe it. I can't believe how much, don't even look at this. Spoilers, don't even look at this. To me, this game, even just all by itself, represents just that beacon of hope I keep talking about. Just projects that are so truly good, so truly creative, and just beautiful. I don't know, go see my review if you want to hear more about Animal Well. It's so good. But then you have more. Then you have Crow Country. Oh my gosh, I want to play this so much. This is definitely next on my list. Maybe I'll stream it or something, because I've had my eye on this. It's the aesthetic. It's a mix between the original isometric Resident Evil games on the PS1, but then it's also the sprites, the character models of Final Fantasy VII with the pre-rendered backgrounds, and they're not really pre-rendered, but they kind of look that way. And it's a survival horror game. It just looks so good. Again, I don't even stop. I don't even want to see it. It looks incredible. It looks absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to play it. I cannot, and that's what's funny is I was really looking forward to Animal Well, and Crow Country was just about on the same level of my anticipation for it. Didn't even know they released on the same day. That's nuts. Then you have Little Kitty, Big City. We saw that on the indie showcase recently. Looks really, really, really cute. Really super duper cute. I don't know. It's just, it's such a wholesome game. It's one of those games that's just you're not going to see this from a big publisher. It's just what's the pitch? Well, you're a little kitty in a big city, and you wander around stealing people's phones and stuff. I love it. It's this is indie games right here. The creativity and the wholesomeness. It's great. So that's another good one. You get to trip people. That's so cool. I've never heard of this. 1000X Resist. It's a stylish sci-fi narrative action game, easily evoking Nier and 13 Sentinels. Cool. I've never heard of it, but there you go. There's another cool game. What's this? I don't even know what this is. Cryptmaster is a black and white stylish 3D dungeon crawler where typing and speaking words controls everything in the game. Look at that. That's so cool. I want to play that. That's awesome. What's that on? It's on Steam? Ooh, that's good. Okay, moving on. What do we got? Corpo Nation is a linear dystopian horror narrative game where you work sorting genetic samples and experience the horror of being an adult. I like it. Looks weird. I barely even know what it is, but it looks great. I would play that. I would play it. It's the problem with indie games. There's too many. I'm not going to be able to play them all. Gift is a puzzle action platformer where you must escape a sinking ship. Think Little Nightmares-esque. Oh, I love that kind of thing. Like atmospheric, spooky, like puzzle platformer kind of thing. I'm into it. That looks great. I love it. Rabbit and Steel is a co-op action roguelike designed to be reminiscent of MMO raiding bosses with your friends. Asleep is a retro-inspired 2D psychological horror point-and-click adventure, and it looks fab. I'll be the judge of that. Can confirm. It looks fab. Fab look confirmed. Brocula is a game where you farm, fish, and also manage a cult and build a castle as a vampire who is woken up after 500 years. And that's just a list of them, and that's not even to mention the vast quantity of indies that have released around this time. There are all these other games that have released recently. Oh yeah, I just reposted this earlier today. Indica looks incredible, looks crazy. I've seen like one trailer for it, and I cannot even understand what I'm seeing. It looks so amazing. Got Hades 2 coming out. Another Crab's Treasure. I just started playing that. I need to keep playing that. This is so accurate. This is too many amazing games to play. And they are all in the indie space. And of course, you know, like Hades 2, it's a bigger indie game for sure, but I'm still gonna count it, because who cares? You get the point I'm making here, and it's that indie games are cool. Indie games are cool. They are a salve to help cure the woes, the ails created by this horrible corporate culture that has been infecting the gaming space for so many years now. And even if Indie Day doesn't become an official thing or anything, I still think that May 9th, 2024, it's gonna go down as a very, very, very special day in the realm of indie games. It's a day that reminds us all over again that there are a lot of people out there working on a lot of really incredible projects. There are plenty of AAA games that are, you know, very artistic and beautiful and come from a really great place and represent the vision of one or a small group of people, and they can be beautiful, but it's becoming increasingly rare. And so indies, it's really where we need to be looking. And just indie games as a whole, that's what we need to be supporting. Even though I will admit that's difficult when there are this many games. I mean, I just can't even buy them all. It's hard to support indies when the indies keep creating just these waves, hitting us with these overwhelming waves of incredible games we can barely even keep up. But I mean, it's a good problem to have, I guess. Well, happy Indie Day, everybody. Or can it just be like Indie May? Can that be it too? Can just like all of May be about indies? I don't know. At the very least, in my heart, this will forever be Indie Day in Indie May. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go buy Crow Country right now. It looks so good. Have you seen it? It looks so good.